I now want to shift to Anthony Lynn, the current Los Angeles Chargers head coach. Anthony Lynn, in my opinion, is not an awful head coach. His first season with the Chargers, he went 9-7. In 2018, he got the team to the playoffs. The team won 12 games that were very good. And Anthony Lynn, his record with the Chargers is 31-31. 31 wins, 31 losses. Again, not knocking your socks off, but not terrible. But I believe if the Los Angeles Chargers want to maximize Justin Herbert's talent, they must fire Anthony Lynn. That's the move I would make, okay? Because here's the thing, okay? Anthony Lynn, he's an average head coach. He's an average head coach at best. And do you really truly believe that Anthony Lynn is capable of getting the most out of Justin Herbert? Because I'm not. Like I mentioned earlier with Zach Taylor, he's just not good enough. He does not meet the threshold to become a Super Bowl caliber head coach. To me, I don't think Anthony Lynn's a top tier head coach. I just don't, okay? And like I mentioned earlier, in the AFC alone, you're going to have to outcoach Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Sean McDermott, Brian Flores, John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski, Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick, Frank Wright. Anthony Lynn just doesn't match up with those guys. And let's look at the last 10 Super Bowl winning teams, and let's evaluate the head coaches on those rosters. Mike McCarthy, Tom Coughlin, John Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, Gary Kubiak, Bill Belichick, Doug Peterson, Bill Belichick, and Andy Reid. Anthony Lynn, he doesn't stack up with those guys. And by the way, for those of you that are saying, oh, Mike McCarthy's not a great head coach, Gary Kubiak's not great, at the time, Mike McCarthy was labeled as a pretty good head coach. At that moment in time, McCarthy was at the top of the game. And at that time, Gary Kubiak was one of the best offensive minds in the entire NFL. At that moment, okay? Right now, not so much. But at that moment, they were pretty good. Anthony Lynn, he just doesn't meet the criteria, okay? And let's go back to week 13 of the 2020 season, when Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots rolled into town to face the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers lost that game 45-0. That was one of the biggest head coaching mismatches that I've ever seen. It was probably the biggest discrepancy and the biggest gap between the head coach on one side and the head coach on the other. Anthony Lynn, he just doesn't match up with these top tier head coaches. And listen, you're in a division with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Now, while Justin Herbert is not quite as good as Patrick Mahomes, he's pretty darn talented, got one of the 5 best arms in all of football. But Anthony Lynn, he's just an average Joe. He doesn't match up with Andy Reid. So, if the Chargers are smart, they will go out and spend some money for a Robert Saleh or an Eric Bieniemy or a Brian Dable. The Chargers are a big-time market. They're in Los Angeles, California. I guarantee you head coaches would flock to go try to coach Justin Herbert, especially with that very talented roster that you have with the Chargers, and especially due to the fact that that's a big-time market. It's not like Green Bay, Wisconsin, okay? A lot of NFL players would love to live in and would love to play in Los Angeles, California. I guarantee you, okay? And here's the thing, people. This Chargers team is underachieving with Anthony Lynn. They've blown way too many leads. They continue to shoot themselves in the foot. The way they've been losing games in 2020 has been embarrassing. And it's not good enough. So in reality, I believe if the Chargers want to maximize Justin Herbert's talent, if they want to be serious about winning Super Bowls, if they're serious about knocking off Kansas City, if they're serious about being better than the Raiders, if they're serious about consistently being better than the Broncos, they will go out and spend some extra money on a top-of-the-level head coach, and they will fire Anthony Lynn. Chargers, make it happen, because it's a move that you need to make. Anthony Lynn should be fired as Los Angeles Chargers head coach by the end of 2020. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.